What up? What up? What up? What's happening? I appreciate y'all checking out the first episode, first show. What we gonna do though is we gonna talk about this list that ESPN dropped. ESPN Plus staff writer Kirk Goldsberry, he dropped this list. What he did was he took all of the 30 NBA teams and he ranked them pretenders or contenders. All right, and he put them in tiers. Right, so you got like tier one, tier two, tier three. He got a tier 1.5, 1.5, which I'm gonna get on that for sure. Obviously, like the bottom half of the league, we're not gonna talk about. I don't see no point in having a discussion about the Orlando Magic being contenders, right? And then turning around and talking about somebody like the Golden State Warriors. You know. So maybe we'll do I say about six. Maybe a little more than six from the list. Let's just say 10. And we might not make it to 10, but we gonna do 10. We just gonna say 10, right? All right. So number one, I don't know if he has this in any type of particular order, but number one on the list is the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. Now they 26-14, right? As of today, I'm not sure what the date is. Today is January 15th, right? As of today, that's for them. That's number 6 in the NBA, number 2 in the East. And I'm gonna just say that I can't call these dudes legit contenders. I can call them, maybe they make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals, but as far as going to the finals, I just don't see it. I think they style of play is it's gonna get in their way in the playoffs, mostly because they play that Steve Nash, which that dude should probably start at some point coming under some type of criticism, right? Because he really not doing the best job. To me, the Nets should be number 1 or 2 in the league, all right, not number 2 in the East. So the biggest issue to me though is gotta be like the depth, the role players that they got. I mean, you got cats like James Johnson, you got LaMarcus Aldridge, Paul Millsap, Blake Griffin, Patty Mills. Man, they got stuff left in the tank. But as far as a deep playoff run, I just don't see it. Let's put it in perspective like this, all right? Let's say they go up against a young team, right? Let's just say like the Hornets. Let's just use the Hornets for example. The Hornets are a team that, man, they gonna run and gun. They high octane offense and they young dudes. It's a squad full of young dudes. So if you get the Hornets in the first round, you're probably gonna beat them. More than likely, you're going to beat the Hornets, but it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a foot race every time they touch the ball for one, and that's gonna wear them old dudes out. I mean, I know they got cats, they got KD, they got James Harden, they got Kyrie if he gonna play, and that's good. I think that's real good, but it's only one ball. They have to develop some type of defensive identity, and they don't have that. On top of the fact that they over the hill because they old, right? But just some of their statistical categories. I'm gonna throw these out here. Like they number 4 in field goal percentage. That's cool. But to me, it don't mean nothing if you number 18 in opponent's points per game. You got to get a stop. The name of the game is get buckets. So I can only assume that if you stopping the other team from getting buckets, then you probably more likely to end up in the finals, I guess. Now they defensive rating, they number 11, but to me, that's not championship defense to me. That's not championship defense. So I think that I think that, man, if they could develop a defensive identity, I think they'll be all right. I don't think that they want to match up with any other top contenders in the East when it comes to the finals or you come to the next round. They're going to be tired. I can imagine the body's going to be aching. They're going to need a lot of Bengay, biofreeze. Them dudes going to be hurting, ice baths and all of that. So as far as the number one contenders on Kirk Goldsberry's list, I just don't see it. I don't got the Nets being there. Number two, he got the Bucks, right? Now, at 26-17, that put them at number 4 in the East. Number 8 overall. Again, that's as of today. But to me, for these dudes, is that they kind of just middle of the pack and everything. It's not really one thing that they good at. I think that without Yanni, man, that team, it's nothing. That team is nothing without Yanni. Even with a healthy Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, a lot of their issue, I think, stem from like rim protection. They don't really have no rim protection. I think my man is out for the season. What's his name? Brook Lopez. So as far as bigs, they relying on Yanni and Bobby Portis. Now Portis, he got that dog in him. Don't get me wrong. Portis got that dog in him. But this is the question right here. When we in the playoffs, do you really? I mean, Yanni is most likely MVP this year. I mean, I don't know, but let's just say you let Yanni score 30, 40 points a game, or Yanni get injured, whatever the case may be. Do you really want to have to rely on Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday? We know Drew is he a monster on defense. He got that dog in him too. He a monster on defense. I think Bobby Portis is gonna do his thing. He gonna do his thing on defense, and he can knock down them open shots too. But it come down to Chris Middleton. It come down to the bench depth. A lot of the dudes on their bench, I mean, can you really name them? They got who? They got my man White Boy Dante. They got Pat Connaughton. They got Grayson Allen. Now, I like these dudes. Don't get me wrong, but I just can't put my championship hopes in the hands of white dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a team full of white dudes as far as they depth go. And nobodies. They got nobodies on their bench for real. And I just don't know. Yanni might be able to will his way to the finals again, to the championship again, like he did last year. But this league, man, it changed so much. So, I mean, they got more competition coming out of the East. The East is rougher this year. You still got the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? So, like, it's a rougher path for the Bucks. I think that they could do it. Let's just say go to the Eastern Conference. I don't see him running back that chip, though. I just don't see him running that championship back, though. But again, the spirit of Yanni, he could take him. He could take him there. I just personally don't got him coming out of. I don't got these dudes coming past the second round. That's just me. Next on the list, we got the 27 and now they 13, 27 and 13, because they got whooped on earlier today by I think it was the Warriors. They still number 1 in the East. That'll make them, I think they number 3 or 4 overall in the NBA. But I also think that the problem with these dudes, a lot of it is gonna be on Zach LaVine. Zach always hurt. I mean, you look up the dude, he always hurt. I got a lot of respect for Zach LaVine. Good offensive player. But I just wonder, will they be able to get it done if he is out or if he is hurt, if he got to miss some time? I think they got to do an MRI on his knee or something like that. Some with his leg. But that's really one of my biggest questions for them. And also my man Vucevic, Nikolai Vucevic, one of the most skilled centers in the league. I really like the dude, but he really is he to me is a liability out there on defense. When it come to their rankings, they got pretty decent numbers as far as like offense goes. Number 3 with the free throw percentage, number 2 with the field goal percentage, number 1 in 3-point field goal percentage. So obviously getting buckets ain't no thing. They got my man DeRozan over there looking like an MVP, or MVP candidate. He in the conversation for sure. He looked like he back to Toronto form, but I just think that a lot of their success is going to depend on what they got going on around the rim on both sides of the ball. And I think that Vucevic is I think he a liability out there. He ain't protecting no rims. He can't really cover no perimeter. In this NBA right here, man, they forcing that pick and roll a lot. They trying to get their quickest guy matched up against your biggest, slowest, or worst defender, I guess. And they take advantage of those mismatches. But I don't really I like what they got going on. I just think they missing something. And I think that something might be a little bit of rim protection. And again, if Zach LaVine is out, I don't see these dudes really doing too much of nothing. I think that take away a big part of what they got going on the offensive side of the ball. That's my take on the Bulls. We're going to move on to the 30-11 Golden State Warriors. Now, the Warriors, to me, all right, 30-11, that make them second in the West. Number what? I think that make them number 2 in the league, too. I think they got the second best record in the league. Behind the Phoenix Suns, right? But my concern with the Warriors is what happens when that 3-point shot is not falling. What happened when the tray ball is not falling? When Steph want to go out there and shoot 23s and he only make 4 of them. Clay go out there. We don't know what we going to get out of Clay yet. We don't know how long his legs going to hold up. Hopefully he be all right. But like outside of them 2 dudes, you relying on Andrew Wiggins and a couple of other role players. Now I like the Warriors. I think the Warriors will make it to the Western Conference Finals. I think it'll be them and the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. I think because these 2 teams that show up at least top 5 on defense, and I think that's one of the most important things about the game. But again, what happens when these shots is not falling? We know we can't rely on backpack for nothing more than defensive IQ. A lot of people want to say he's a great passer, but okay. And then they don't really have a lot of rim protection either. Now, they are number 1 in defensive rating. I think they second in rebounding. And outside of these dudes just launching a bunch of tray balls and just, sometimes the rim is just covered up and it just don't fall like that. Now, I'm not just going to judge the Golden State Warriors off of their past W's. Again, this is a new NBA. Ever evolving NBA. Nonetheless, though, I do got these dudes going to the Western Conference Finals, and I think they'll be going up against the 31-9 Suns, who they are first in the league. Now, get this about the Suns, right? They top 10 in offense and top 5 in defense, and they are the only team in the NBA to show up like that, top 10 in one category and top 5 in the other. I really don't see a lot of holes in this team. I think that if I had to pick one, it will most likely it would be my man Devin Booker. when Book don't show up, you got to count on somebody else for the majority of the scoring. We know that Chris Paul can put up buckets, but his role is to facilitate more than anything else and just be the leader on that team. I like DeAndre Ayton. I'm not so sure he get an extension with the Suns, but I do like DeAndre Ayton. And I also think that, if he can't stay healthy, I think that if he can't stay healthy, they'll really have issues, because now we got kind of a small ball lineup where we going to put I'm sure my man Crowder will be at the 5 for the simple fact that my man Champ McGee, JaVale McGee, I like Chip Vail, but I just don't think that I think that he gonna cause more issues on the court than he will off of the court. So how do you replace him? I think that you will bring in a guy. I think they got a kid, what's his name? Cam Thomas or something like that. I forget what his name is, but I know they put him at the 5 a lot. And he do his thing. But again, we talking about the playoffs. So like, how far is they bench depth gonna get them? We don't really know. But I do think that with Mikal Bridges, CP, Devin Booker, and a healthy Ayton, I think we got these dudes going back to the Western Conference Finals, most likely the finals in general. And I really wouldn't mind seeing these dudes get they chip. I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Paul get one. I think he deserve it. So between them and the Warriors, at least, that's who I got going to the Western Conference Finals. Last on this Tier 1 list, though, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. He got the Grizzlies last on this list right here. Now, the Grizzlies just took an L to the Dallas Mavericks. I think they are underrated on defense. What Jason Kidd been able to come in there and do, I think that's a good L for the Grizzlies. I'll just put it like that. But I think they got the coach of the year over there. I think my man should be Taylor Jenkins. He should be coach of the year, which they'll more than likely give it to Billy Donovan over there in Chicago. But I think that Taylor Jenkins deserves a lot of credit, a lot of respect for what he's been able to do with this team. It's probably, if not the youngest team in the league. I know they got to be in like the top 5 as far as age. I think they got the most improved player, hands down, over there, and my man Desmond Bane. And the MVP candidate in Ja Morant. I don't really see a lot wrong with this team besides they inexperience. I think that this is another squad who could possibly shoot themselves out of the game. When you look at Ja Morant, he ain't really been, if I'm not mistaken, his 3-point number is better this year than in the previous years. But at the same time, that's not what he do. All right, his game is inside out. They count on guys like Jaren Jackson, Dylan Brooks. These two dudes for sure who will shoot you out of a game. You will see some games where Jaren Jackson, he got 30 points one game, 27, 30 points one game, and then the next game he got 8 on like 1 for 15 shooting. You know what I mean? So Dylan Brooks is the same thing with him. I think Dylan is a little overconfident sometimes. And then when you got the other guys like Desmond Bane, I like DeAnthony Melton, Tyus Jones. I think those dudes is good, but I just don't think that they be able to handle the big playoff stage for real, especially the deeper we get. But these dudes, I don't got them going no further than the second round. I think that's solid for them. I think the second round is really solid for them. Again, because, we talking about, if I'm not mistaken, they did the play-in for the past 2 years. I could be wrong. Could have just been one of them years, but for sure, they haven't been as high as they are now. So I appreciate what they doing. I like the team. I really like the depth, but I also think the depth is young and inexperienced. I think that a good playoff battle be exactly what this squad need. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that they'll get just they asses handed to them by whoever they play. I think that they're going to make it very competitive, but I don't got them getting past no further than the second round. I mean, that's just my opinion. This is the tier 1 part of the list. I drop another video. We'll talk about this 1.5, this 1.5 tier that this dude then wrote up. It's really kind of ridiculous. It'll probably be a quicker video. It's only 2 squads on the list. I'll let y'all take a guess on who one of the teams is. But yeah, this the tier 1 list, and we'll be back with 1.5.